Welcome to Live Kindly. Socrates lived between 469 and 399 B.C.E. and is one of the most famous philosophers in the entire history of humankind. Often considered the founder of Western philosophy, his work embodies the philosophy of skepticism, which holds that knowledge can be obtained through systematic doubt and continual testing. Despite the fact that Socrates never wrote anything himself, he has forever changed the landscape of philosophy. The majority of what we know about his philosophy comes from the writings of Plato, Aristophanes, and Xenophon, who documented dialogues between Socrates and other Athenians. These writings introduced a new literary genre known as the Socratic dialogue. Unfortunately, Socrates is also known for his tragic end. In 399 B.C.E., he was accused of corrupting the youth of Athens and failing to acknowledge the city's official gods. After a trial that lasted just a single day, he was sentenced to death. Socrates spent his last day in prison, refusing to escape, thus exemplifying the founding myth of philosophy as a discipline. To truly practice philosophy, one must challenge societal norms and question everything, even at the risk of personal peril. Socrates' impressive life, personality, and methods inspired those around him to write extensively about him, most notably Plato. Despite the absence of any written works by Socrates himself, his teachings have been preserved through these accounts. It is often said that each age produces a Socrates of its own, yet there are some core teachings of the original Socrates that transcend the centuries. These timeless teachings of Socrates offer profound insights into leading a virtuous, wise, and fulfilling life. By integrating these principles into your daily routine, you can cultivate a deeper sense of purpose and happiness. If you found these life lessons from Socrates enlightening, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on philosophy and personal growth. Your support helps us continue to bring valuable knowledge to our community. Thank you for watching, and remember to always seek wisdom and know thyself. Number 1. Be courageous. According to Socrates, courage is defined by a person's willingness to stand firm and fight against adversity, rather than running away. Socrates himself was a contrarian and a polarizing figure, not only through his looks and behavior, but also through his method of interrogating people around him, and his refusal to acknowledge the official gods of Athens. This defiance led to his arrest in 399 B.C.E. for corrupting the youth, culminating in a trial that lasted just a single day and ended with his death sentence. Despite being offered the chance to escape, Socrates chose to remain in prison, ultimately meeting his fate by drinking poison hemlock. His decision to face death rather than flee demonstrated his great courage and unwavering commitment to his principles. Throughout his life, Socrates was never afraid to go against the prevailing opinions of Athenian society. He sought the real truths behind common beliefs, refusing to conform to the worship of the gods or participate in the political arena. His actions teach us that we must stand up for our moral principles, no matter the cost. For instance, if your boss asks you to betray a colleague, you should refuse, even at the risk of losing your job. When you hear a relative make a racist or bigoted remark at a family reunion, you should speak up and initiate a difficult conversation. Remaining silent in the face of injustice makes you complicit in the harm being done to innocent people. Courage is not just a desirable trait, it is the hallmark of a moral human being. It requires us to stand firm against injustice and wrongdoings, to speak up when it matters most, and to act according to our ethical convictions, even when it involves personal risk. Number 2. Be humble. Socrates teaches us that pride divides the men, humility joins them. Despite his unpleasant appearance, short with a big belly, rough facial features, bulging eyes, and a snub nose, Socrates did not care much about how he looked. He wore the same cloak every day, lived a poor life, and paid little attention to hygiene or luxurious living. His humble appearance allowed him to engage with people from all walks of life, whether in the marketplace or other public areas. Socrates spoke with everyone, regardless of gender, age, status, or wealth, demonstrating how humility provided him with the freedom to interact and connect with a diverse range of individuals. While few of us might aspire to adopt Socrates' austere lifestyle or appearance, we can still embrace aspects of his humility to lead a more fulfilling and liberated life. Humility means being free from pride and arrogance, a quality that becomes increasingly important as one's status in society grows. For example, if you are a manager in a factory, practicing humility is crucial for effective leadership. Engaging with your employees, listening to their suggestions, and valuing their input can lead to significant improvements in teamwork and productivity. An arrogant and demanding attitude, on the other hand, will alienate your staff and deprive you of their valuable insights. Respect is reciprocal. If you respect your employees and show that you value their contributions, they are more likely to respect you and perform to the best of their abilities. Recognizing that your staff are the creators and the ones performing the primary functions of the business gives you a unique perspective that you cannot see from a management or executive level. When employees feel genuinely valued and respected, they are more inclined to open up, provide feedback, and offer innovative ideas to improve the workplace. The more humble we are, the more approachable we become. This approachability fosters better connections with others, leading to more opportunities for collaboration and growth. Humility allows us to see the value in every person, regardless of their social status, and to learn from their experiences and perspectives. Number 3, be a citizen of the world. Socrates once stated, "I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world." This profound declaration challenges us to transcend artificial borders and narrow identities defined by our geographical locations. Socrates believed that people should not be confined to the role of citizens of their state or country. Instead, they should see themselves as citizens of the world. Today, this concept is more relevant than ever, as there are far more things that unite us than separate us. Humans typically think in terms of small groups: our neighborhood, town, state, or country. However, the internet has shown us that we may have more in common with someone thousands of miles away than with our next-door neighbor. We are all human beings, and making judgments about others based on superficial differences like nationality, skin color, gender, or anything other than their behavior and actions is nonsensical. Socrates understood this idea very well, even though it was revolutionary at the time. Greece was divided into many smaller states like Athens and Sparta, often at war with each other. Socrates, however, was not interested in politics or taking sides. He sought objective truth rather than aligning himself with any particular group. Similarly, we should focus on the common moral principles that connect us rather than the apparent differences that divide us. When you meet someone from another country or culture, don't focus on how different they dress or behave. Instead, consider the physical and psychological needs you share. We all need enough food to eat, shelter, a sense of community, security, and the ability to take care of our families. These basic needs form the common ground from which we should engage with one another. By recognizing our shared humanity, we can foster a more inclusive and compassionate world. Socrates' vision of being a citizen of the world invites us to look beyond narrow identities and embrace a global perspective. This perspective encourages us to appreciate our commonalities and work together to address the universal challenges we face. Number 4. Don't seek vengeance. As we learn from Socrates, one should never do wrong in return, nor mistreat any man, no matter how one has been mistreated by him. For Socrates, vengeance is by definition unjust, and there is never a good motivation to justify it. This philosophy on vengeance is expressed in one of Plato's dialogues, where Socrates debates with Polemarchus, who believes that it is just to do good to friends and harm to enemies. Socrates makes Polemarchus realize that, when harmed, human beings tend to become less virtuous, not more. Thus, while it may feel cathartic to seek revenge, the net result is driving your enemies towards further immorality. Socrates' argument is clear. Harming someone makes neither you nor them a better person. Therefore, vengeance is never justified. No matter how badly someone has hurt you, the correct response is to calmly evaluate the situation and respond with dignity. Whether it's a betrayal by a close friend, someone spreading false rumors about you, a partner's infidelity, or unfair criticism from a boss, it's crucial to maintain your composure. When faced with such situations, Socrates advises us to respond thoughtfully. If appropriate, you can express your hurt feelings politely and demand a correction or apology. If this is not possible, it might be best to walk away. The key is not to retaliate and sink to the other person's level. Instead, defend yourself respectfully. Seek an apology if warranted. And if the situation doesn't allow for a resolution, remove yourself from the toxic environment. Socrates' teachings remind us that maintaining our humanity and virtue is paramount, even in the face of injustice. By choosing not to seek revenge, we uphold our principles and contribute to a more just and ethical world. This approach not only preserves our moral integrity, but also sets a positive example for others. Number 5. Be happy with less. Socrates posits that the secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Happiness, by its very nature, is the end goal of our desires. It is not something that is automatically given. It requires effort. According to Socrates, the fewer desires we have, the easier it is to achieve happiness. He believed that the true secret to happiness lies in living a moral life and being just. By upholding moral principles, we can achieve peace and contentment with our current circumstances and desire fewer material possessions. Therefore, happiness is not a result of accumulating more, but rather a mindset that enables us to appreciate the small things in life. To cultivate this mindset, we should focus more on our inner state rather than striving to possess numerous external objects such as money, property, or cars. Simple changes in our daily routine can introduce small moments of happiness. Practices like meditation, taking a short walk in the park after lunch, participating in sports, writing a diary, connecting with friends and relatives, or even watching a favorite comedy can significantly enhance our well-being. Over time, these small habits can accumulate, increasing our overall happiness. It is crucial not to rely on external factors like acquiring a new apartment, a new car, or even winning the lottery for happiness. True happiness requires less effort than one might think. It involves developing small, daily habits that build a foundation for a fulfilling life. By being a moral person and consistently practicing healthy habits, we can achieve happiness with surprisingly little effort. Socrates teaches us that real happiness is rooted in our mindset and our ability to find joy in the simple, everyday aspects of life. Number 6. Have a sense of humor. By all means, marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. Socrates was well known for his sense of humor, often making jokes about his wife, Xanthippe, who was 30 years younger than him. He frequently described her as having a bad temper and a difficult personality, humorously suggesting that her challenging nature was what made him a philosopher. He viewed his marriage as a great school for dealing with difficult situations. Even in the face of his death, Socrates maintained his humor. When Xanthippe visited him in prison, crying about his unfair condemnation, he joked, "Would you think this situation was less regrettable if they'd condemned me fairly?" This ability to find humor in even the direst circumstances is something we can all learn from Socrates. Incorporating a bit of Socratic humor into our own lives can be immensely beneficial. Regardless of whether a situation is good or bad, making jokes can lighten the mood and bring people closer together. Laughter is a powerful tool that, when used carefully and without malice, can ease stress and build resilience against life's daily challenges. Studies have shown that relationships are more likely to last if the partners share a similar sense of humor. To make your relationships long-lasting, it's essential to find the funnies, as comedian Reginald D. Hunter puts it. This means discovering shows, movies, or comedians you both enjoy, or simply finding humor in everyday situations. A good joke, shared without ill intentions, can uplift spirits and create memorable moments. Socrates' blend of wisdom and humor provides valuable lessons for life. His ability to find humor in adversity reminds us that laughter can be a powerful coping mechanism and a means of connecting with others. By embracing humor, we can improve our relationships, reduce stress, and navigate life's challenges with a lighter heart. Number 7. Open yourself to the truth. Socrates famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This quote, known as the Socratic paradox, appears to contradict common sense, which is precisely why it holds such profound meaning. Socrates made this statement in response to the Oracle of Delphi's proclamation that he was the wisest man. He replied that he was wise because he recognized his own ignorance. Socrates believed that truth is what aligns with fact or reality. He was renowned for developing a mental model for seeking truth, known as Elenchus, or the Socratic method. This method involves scrutinizing all aspects of an argument to understand the hypotheses on which it is based and to determine whether these hypotheses are factual and valid. By continually asking questions and delving deeper into problems, Socrates believed we could pursue the truth more effectively. His teachings are especially relevant today as we strive to develop our critical thinking skills. Merely existing, eating, sleeping, working, and procreating without deeper reflection is, in Socrates' view, not a life worth living. He emphasized the importance of continuous learning, questioning, and self-development. We should never assume that our knowledge is complete. Instead, we must constantly seek evidence, question our beliefs, and refresh our understanding. For instance, imagine working in an engineering department where you are required to follow a specific design methodology without understanding the rationale behind it. Instead of blindly following orders, you could apply the Socratic method. Ask your supervisor why this method is preferred, who validated it as the best approach, and explore any possible alternatives. If you find the current methodology lacking, you might propose a new design method, potentially improving the overall quality of the work. By acknowledging your lack of knowledge, you place yourself in a position to ask questions and learn more, thereby enhancing your skills and understanding. This approach not only benefits your personal growth, but can also lead to improvements in your career and the work environment. Socrates' insight that the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing encourages us to embrace humility and curiosity. By constantly questioning, seeking evidence, and acknowledging our ignorance, we can develop a deeper understanding of the world and ourselves. This mindset fosters continuous learning and growth, essential for both personal and professional development. Number 8. be authentic. To quote Socrates, "The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be." Socrates never shied away from proclaiming his views, no matter the danger. He didn't take sides in politics, for he was far more interested in seeking the truth than in political and social status. Ultimately, his commitment to being true to himself led to his trial and premature death. However, his courage to be authentic and publicly question everything allowed him to live honorably, and his legacy endures to this day. Socrates was bold enough to openly acknowledge his ignorance on many subjects. He didn't hesitate to ask others questions in his pursuit of truth. Even regarding his physical appearance, he didn't try to present himself as something he wasn't. Most of us may not possess the same level of courage that Socrates had, but we can learn from him to be more straightforward and honest, better aligning our ideal selves with who we truly are. This means stopping the pursuit of others' approval and refraining from dressing or behaving in ways designed to impress others. Instead, we should focus on shaping our character, avoiding deception about who we truly are. For example, if you're unhappy with your physical appearance, work on building muscle or losing weight rather than buying clothes to create a false impression. Stop pretending to be someone you're not and use that energy to address the root causes of your dissatisfaction. By doing so, you can become the true, authentic version of yourself. Socrates teaches us that living with honor means being true to ourselves. By embracing authenticity and aligning our actions with our true character, we can live a more fulfilling and honorable life. We should focus on personal growth and integrity rather than seeking validation through pretense. Number 9. Beware the busyness of life. In the words of Socrates, beware the barrenness of a busy life. In the late 5th century B.C.E., when Socrates lived, many Athenian men prioritized fame, wealth, honors, and political power over a life of genuine purpose. They appeared to lead busy lives, yet they were not truly happy. In stark contrast, Socrates neither labored to earn a living nor voluntarily participated in state affairs. Despite his popularity, he chose to live in poverty and wasn't interested in being seen as a teacher. He believed it was more important to teach people to think for themselves than to fill their minds with knowledge they might never use. Socrates understood that a life without real purpose is an empty one. Doing things merely for money or fame was not his interest, as he valued meaningful living over superficial busyness. Following Socrates' example, we should all be wary of leading busy but empty lives, and instead strive for meaningful ones. Today, there are countless activities to engage in and endless choices to make. If we don't know how to limit our desires for more money, more possessions, and more fame, we risk filling our lives with ceaseless activity, leaving no time to pause, reflect, and digest our experiences. This can prevent us from finding meaning in our lives and making well-considered decisions for the future. Chasing after money and fame won't provide real meaning. It only consumes time and energy that could be better spent on fulfilling activities. Instead of trying to do everything you are capable of, start by identifying what is truly meaningful to you and prioritize your activities accordingly. Life can only become meaningful when you engage in meaningful activities. Socrates' wisdom warns us about the dangers of a busy yet empty life. By focusing on what truly matters and prioritizing activities that bring fulfillment, we can lead more purposeful and satisfying lives. Remember, a meaningful life is not defined by the number of activities we undertake, but by the depth and significance of the activities we choose to pursue. In closing, Socrates' timeless wisdom offers a guiding light in our modern, fast-paced world. His teachings remind us that true fulfillment does not come from a relentless pursuit of fame, wealth, or busyness, but from a deep understanding of ourselves and a commitment to living with purpose. By prioritizing meaningful activities and fostering a mindset of continuous learning and self-improvement, we can cultivate a life rich in contentment and inner peace. Let us take inspiration from Socrates' life and philosophy, striving to be authentic, to question and seek truth, and to focus on what truly matters. In doing so, we not only honor his legacy, but also create a path to a more fulfilling and honorable existence. If you found this journey into Socratic wisdom enriching, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with those who might benefit from these insights. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content on philosophy and personal growth. Your support is invaluable as we continue to bring meaningful knowledge to our community. Thank you for watching, and remember to always seek wisdom and know thyself.